Number 5. Mrs. Rasmussen was appalled by her son's blank tactics. Aware that he would have to be constantly vigilant and prepared to deal with unexpected challenges at the drop of a hat if he was ever to take up his father's blank and run the company. So, if we look at this sentence, the big trigger here is the comma, so we know that there's a connection between the two parts. So, if at the drop of a hat he was ever to take up his father's blank and run the company, it's basically taking over his father's responsibility. So what we're looking for here is something that means responsibility. Then for our first blank, if the mom is appalled by her son's blank tactics, clearly we're looking for a negative here. So now moving right along, we're going to look at the second blank first. So letter A says onus. Now you might not have heard of onus, so that gets a mystery. Then we have avenue. So to take up his father's avenue. That doesn't really fit very well, so we get rid of that. Then letter C. To take up his father's renunciation. So to renounce is to give up. So it wouldn't make sense for him to take up something that he's giving up. So that's out. Dalliance is probably a mystery for you. And mantle, you probably have heard of the mantle over a fireplace, but you probably haven't heard of this mantle, which is a false friend. So that gets a mystery as well. So now moving on to the first blank, we have dissolute. Maybe you're not sure of what that is, so we give that a mystery. D says cavalier. You might not know what that means either, so that gets a mystery. And dilatory. Now, dilatory kind of sounds like delinquent, which is extremely negative, which is exactly what we're looking for here. And that actually makes sense. Now, looking at what we have, we don't really have much to work with here, and if you couldn't figure out what dilatory meant and you're left with 3 complete mysteries, at that point, on a hard question like this, really you should just omit it. But if you know that you have dilatory, you should definitely go with it, because most likely this false friend has a second meaning that we just don't know about. And the answer is actually E. Mantle means something very similar to responsibility, which is also similar to answer choice A, meaning onus. So onus, the mantle, the responsibility, they're all synonyms. So the answer for number 5 is E.